Welcome everyone. I am CA Pragnesh Kanabar, Senior Audit Faculty for CA Inter and CA Final students. And I have arranged this particular webinar in collaboration with one of the most experienced team, that is Cell Education, operating throughout the country into multiple countries, headquartered in Mumbai. And this particular webinar is specifically on the areas which are lesser known to us, like ACCA UK, CFA, CMA US, CPA US, IFRS diploma course, which is offered by the ACCA UK body. Let me tell you, my dear friends who are attending this particular webinar, that these are certain courses which, when added to your particular CV, can at least increase your remuneration by 2x, 3x, can increase the chances of you getting selected. If you are a qualified chartered accountant, company secretary, or cost accountant, this will surely be a great add-on. Or let us say, unfortunately, if you are struggling into CA courses, CS courses, CMA courses, all right, or your other commerce courses where you are not able to see that how you are going to project your career, then this webinar is for you to realize that there is always some light and a lot of light at the end of the tunnel. And you can add some really smart courses to your CV, opening up your opportunities not only in Indian MNCs, but also across the globe. Now, let me tell you, I am a chartered accountant, yes, into my 10th year now, but I am still not qualified enough to speak on these courses. So if I take this webinar, it will be an injustice. And that is why I am very happy to introduce a well-qualified and experienced team of Cell Education who will explain you in this particular webinar about all of these courses, your eligibility, your paper patterns, what is the future, what is the career. In short, from root to fruit, you are going to get all the guidance that is required. And I'm very delighted and very happy to share that we have Mr. Pratham Barot, who is himself ACCA qualified, and he is the CEO and co-founder of Cell Education. I'm very delighted, sir, that you have taken out some time to enlighten these attendees of the webinar that how these courses can help them. Let me tell you that this is not a marketing webinar. It is going to be 100% guidance and 0% marketing. What we are going to speak on is about these courses, all right? And not like, okay, you please enroll with us for this course. No, that's not what we are going to say. All right, so welcome, Pratham, to this particular webinar. I think you can take it over from here. I am not qualified enough to speak on this much now.
Sure, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that detailed introduction, sir. So hi guys, thanks for attending. Saturday in the day, most people prefer doing many other things besides trying to figure out what to do with their career. So I'm glad, and like sir said, I hope that at the end of this webinar, there are at least some of you guys who can take away enough that a few years later, when you look back, okay, this webinar was sort of the seed that helped you guys eventually take an informed decision of what you need to do along with your existing qualifications, with whatever you all are studying as of now. So as Sara said, right, so my name is Pratham. I am the co-founder CEO at Zell. I've completed ACCA myself, and I'll give you all a quick brief about me and Zell before I jump into the rest of the webinar, where it should be about you guys. So basically, when I was in college, I was not sure if I wanted to, what I wanted to do, as most of us must be confused. 12th ke baad you score decent in accounts, so everybody pushes you in the route on this route, and for many reasons, I just didn't want to. I was not sure if this will be like, if I take up CA, for example, after my 12th, and I clear it also in 5 years, would that be the journey I wanted to take for the rest of my life? I was not sure. Not a yes, not a no. So I started looking for alternatives. I found something that was rare. I took it with college, which was ACCA, completed it, earned a job in PwC. And at PwC, they showed me that ACCA, CAs, CPAs, CFAs, what is the value of these kind of courses in India, in big companies like this? And that's when it hit me that when I just got out of college that time. This was around 9 years ago. And nobody except for me was realizing that this value existed because people were not aware. So that's when I thought, sort of it started that this is what I thought I should do. I should bridge the gap between people who know that they want to study something, but they don't have all the options in their mind. What is it that in India specifically, I'll come to overseas in a bit, but what is there in India that is recognized that we don't know about? And if I could be the bridge between that. So in this session, right, as sir said, it's a guidance session. I think of it as a counseling session. How do I counsel people? How do we train them if they are looking at taking this up? And then how do we get them placed? If we could do this, that's where we sort of thought of starting something like Zell. So back in 2015, I started Zell. It was just two of us. We were just teaching ACCA in Bombay. And now we have an entire product basket of ACCA, CFA, CPA, CMA, FRM, IFRS, and a few other finance and accounting courses. It's pan-India. We have offices in Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, but we teach students from across the world. Around 90% of our students are from India, 10% are overseas. And we have around 250 team members, out of which most of them are qualified faculties as well. So with that introduction, just so that it doesn't come up again in the conversation, I'm going to just deep dive into the point of this webinar, which is for you guys. So I'm going to talk about a few of these courses, and most importantly, is it the right course for you? So from the technical discussions of eligibility and paper pattern and the like, I'll also try and talk about a roadmap if I can, if any of that sort of helps you guys connect with the story, and then feel free to ask me whatever you want. I'm going to go a little fast in the interest of covering all the courses and Q&A. So if I miss anything...
Sir, that is very important. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
The students really want some answers to the questions. So at the end, will your team will be willing to take some Q&A? At least 10-15 questions?
Of course.
Great. So everyone, please stay till the end of the webinar. Your questions will also be answered, some frequently asked questions. I'm so sure that they are going to cover all the answers, but still at the end, if you have some questions, they will take it up. Thank you so much. Please continue. Sorry to interrupt.
No problem, sir. Okay, guys. So now just a quick, I need a little bit of help from you guys. If I'm just going to ask a few questions to understand the audience, so I know how to navigate the webinar. Can you all just show of hands, how many of y'all are pursuing some level of CA right now?
Raise hand करिए जो कुछ ना कुछ CA exams दे रहे हैं. You are talking about CA aspirants, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. So a lot of them. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And guys, how many of you guys are at IPCC inter CA level and above?
So basically the ones who have cleared foundation.
Yes, the ones who have cleared foundation. Right. Okay. So, sir, can you just help me, because I just want to understand a little bit. So the rest of the students are essentially commerce students, but not pursuing CA.
We have no. There are some qualified chartered accountants also over here.
Okay.
So we'll take a poll of that. I think there are a lot of at least 15-20 people who may be qualified. 15-20% of them. So you have majority pool from the CA aspirants. Then you have some qualified professionals. But we have shared this link at across levels. So you may have some people into commerce courses not pursuing professional courses also.
Understood.
Right? Because basically you may have some people across all buckets.
Got it. So guys, I'm going to categorize the roadmap for you guys in essentially three aspects. Okay. And tell me if I'm missing anything. Anybody can just please type in. We have Ubaid with us, who is from our team, who will be answering all your questions. But one, I'm going to talk about assuming you've given your 12, but are not pursuing any professional qualification. Then I'm going to talk about a category of people who are qualified CAs. And then I want to talk about the ones who are pursuing CA but have not cleared it. Am I missing anybody?
I think yeah, the second and third category makes up the majority of the crowd. So I think yes, we are covering all the categories. Yeah.
Awesome, great. Let me just share the screen, and we take it from there. 1 second. Yeah, guys, I hope you can see it. Is it visible?
Very much visible with a warm smile on your face.
Okay, great. So guys, we're going to talk about 4 of the programs, and of course I can open it up to anything else you'll have, and I'm going to go through this a little fast. So let me start with ACCA. So if you all don't know about ACCA, the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, this is the one which I have pursued. And honestly, I was very fortunate that I took it up at the time. It was just picking up in India, because it could have just easily gone the other way around. But I can tell you with a lot of clarity and confidence that because it worked out, what are the benefits and what ACCA is all about. So think of it as like we've written, right? It's global CA. So by the word global, I mean it's applicable across the world, including India. And that's the most important part. When I say global from India, 30% of our audience, right, our students, they land up, so 70% stay in India after doing ACCA, 30% try to move overseas. And the popular countries for Indian students that they'll end up going to is UK, Canada, Australia, Singapore, Dubai. Of course, there are many more, but these are the top 5. So if any of y'all are looking at a career in these kind of countries, in the field of chartered accountancy, so keep this in mind, because this is where it can start, your interest can spark. And it's global CA. So by CA, what it means is more or less syllabus wise, knowledge wise, a CA and an ACCA learn almost the same thing. So ACCA also, as I'm going to show you all, covers topics like accounting, which has IFRS in it, which is 95% overlapping with Ind AS. So the accounting of CA and ACCA becomes very similar. Subjects like financial management and costing, these have no difference in the way we approach these concepts, whether we study in India, Australia, UK, US, Mars, Moon, anywhere. The concept of financial management and costing is the same across any professional qualification. Then we do audit, tax, and in fact in ACCA there's also business paper, which is a little like a mini MBA, which would interest again a lot of you guys. So when you cover everything in ACCA, if you are a CA and I'm an ACCA, we are more or less at the same when it comes to the knowledge base. We are at the same level. There are of course differences, so don't. It's obviously not the same. So now I'll get into the few details, right? So ACCA, most important thing, guys, besides its global nature, is the fact that you can complete it relatively quickly. ACCA, what happens is, okay, so this is the study structure, right? Academic structure. There are 3 levels in ACCA, which are split further into 13 exams. So, guys, can you see my cursor? Sir, if you can just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. So guys, knowledge level is like the foundation level, right? Skill level is like inter CA, and professional level is like final CA. Each of these papers you can give more or less, if I average it out, you can give each paper on an average every 3 months. I'm going to explain a lot of the details, but think about completing all 13 papers in around 3 years. That's what we call as an average. It can take longer and it can take lesser time. The first level covers the base of finance and accounts. The second level, skill level, is exactly like inter CA. It has so law, performance management is costing, taxation is of different variants. Like we learn tax of different countries. Financial reporting is accounting. Audit, we all know what it is. Financial management, we all know what it is. At the final CA level, there are 2 compulsory papers. The first one, strategic business reporting, is again accounting. Final CA accounting. Strategic business leader is one paper which is not there in CA. And when I was studying, it was my favorite paper, because what it does is it gives you, just think of this, if you want to ever understand how to look at business from the lens of finance and accounts, this is the paper, right? It gives you like a 100-mark case study in the final exam on one particular industry, one particular company. They go super in depth and they ask you questions on it, where it covers everything holistically about the business. It covers things on the industry, on business models, on marketing, HR, supply chain, etc. But it all you have to answer from the lens of finance and accounts. So that gives you a very, like, after this, I started going around, whenever I would go, right, I would start looking at any business in the form of number. I would enter a McDonald's and I'll start seeing numbers. I'll enter an airport and I'll start seeing, how the P&L of this must be looking. And it got me habituated to becoming a better professional, because I could absorb and sort of try and understand how the world works more and more and more from, again, like I said, the lens of numbers. So that's that. And the final optional papers, as you can see, are final CA level of costing, FM, audit, and tax. You have to choose 2. So these 13 papers, as I said, right, you got to give on an average once in a quarter. You give an exam, or you look at aiming at completing 6 papers in 1 year. This is how Zell recommends students to look at these exams. And so the most important thing was the time aspect, that you can complete this in a shorter span of time. So if you have just given your 12th, you're not doing anything in CA, you'll have to start this from the first paper. For all of you all who are qualified CAs, the best part is the first and second level get completely exempted, which I'm going to come to. So the best advantage for a CA is that the entry threshold is extremely low. You only have to give the last level, which is only 4 exams. This takes on an average 6 months. A CA has more or less enough knowledge, but you'll have to really thoroughly study this in a slightly different manner because of the approach. And especially papers like the business leader paper is not available. That being said, 6 months parallel to your studies, you can upskill yourself with an international CA on your CV. And then I've seen people in India see, so there was a KPMG partner. I'm assuming everybody knows about KPMG and the Big Four and the like.
Yes.
There was a KPMG partner of the accounting advisory department for many years, who was a CA plus ACCA. In fact, he was one of the ones who introduced IFRS compliance back 10-12 years ago when it was very new. He was one of the first ones in KPMG because he was a partner, he could, and because he was an ACCA, by the way, he's now an ACCA sort of advocate, for India. Point being that, so chartered accountants have this superb advantage of upskilling themselves, and you can move internally in your career because you have a double qualification, a dual qualification, and you can keep your doors open ever if you would like to move overseas. So again, simply, if I talk about KPMG, there was this one husband-wife couple that I knew. They were chartered, working. They were like really wanting to move to Canada, but it wasn't working out. They didn't get too many opportunities. They took up ACCA, finished it in 6 months, got the opportunity to work in Canada, and since the last 3 years they are in Canada, settled down because of, or at least ACCA was a major factor in moving them there. So for a chartered accountant, the best part is it takes you barely 6 months. A lot of the curriculum you're aware about, you're already in the mode of, being a qualified chartered. You're not supposed to leave your work. You're supposed to do this parallelly, and in 6 months you get that upskilling opportunity. Finally, if you are anywhere in the middle, let's say you're a IPCC student, or you're a graduate, or anywhere in the middle between a 12th standard pass and a CA, okay, anywhere in the middle, then you get up to certain papers exempted, within the second level.
So if I'm in the foundation, inter level, or pursuing CA final, maybe somewhere I can get few exemptions, all right, based upon my qualification. So if I'm an inter CA cleared, I may get more exemptions, right?
Absolutely. So that's the point of that is more than exemptions and getting excited that you have to study less. The advantage is how quickly you can complete. The advantage that we have is you can complete this qualification faster. And of course, the simple reason is ACCA is a global body. They have people studying with them across the world. So what they do is, and they want to open their arms to anybody who wants to study ACCA. So what they say is, no matter what you've done in the past, if your past qualification is sort of overlapping with any of our subjects, we'll have a look at it, and if it matches, then we'll give you the exemption for ACCA. You don't have to, break your head over it again. It's a very actually it's a very forward-thinking qualification in that regard. It gives you, it doesn't tell you just study because you have to study. So yes, coming back to that's another major reason. Now, coming to the academic structure, guys, like I said, imagine if you are starting all 13 papers, you should aim at clearing each level on an average in a year, right? Of course, there's upper niche a little bit. We'll help you with your roadmap. Like somebody who's in college has a different speed than somebody who's working. But anyways, knowledge level, first of all, these are what we call on-demand exams. On-demand means anytime in the year, 365 days of the year, you can give it. So let's say you start studying for paper 1. It takes you around 2.5, 3 months to complete the studies of that paper, and you sort of prepare yourself. Now you call us. We are a licensed center for this exam, right? You call us and say, okay, I want to come and give the exam on Monday. Can I come? We'll check. We'll say, okay, there is a slot available at 10. Please come. You come 10 to 12, give the exam. It's all multiple choice. It's all objective based. No negative marking, no math. You come quickly, give the exam. If you pass, you move on to the next paper. And that's how the first level is. They're on-demand, objective, multiple choice questions. 50 on 100 you need for all papers in ACCA. Coming to level 2, these level 2 and level 3 exams are held every quarter, every March, June, September, December. And again, you have to score 50 on 100. And each quarter, you can give 1 paper at a time, 2 papers, all the way up to 4 papers at a time. So what Zell recommends is in a year, aim at 6 papers. So some quarters 1 paper, some quarters 2. If you do that with us, you will be able to complete very healthily, very comfortably ACCA in a short span of time without passing for the sake of it. So that's how the academic structure goes. Now, as I was saying about exemptions, somebody with a BCom on an average gets up to 4 exemptions. Of course, when I say up to, it's because there are a few nuances. So that will be dependent on each of us individually. If you are an inter-CA student, then you get up to 6 if you completed BCom and inter-CA. And a qualified CA, like I said, get 9 papers or up to 2 levels exempted. Quick example, guys. We had a student like in 2019-ish. She was from Delhi, topper in school and college, but she started she sort of got stuck for a while, for a few attempts in final CA, and was very disheartened. She came across ACCA and Zell on Quora. Quora say she reached out to us, understood, took the exemptions because of her IPCC qualification, started ACCA, completed it with us in about a year and a half ke andar. She got a job. I can't name the company, but she got a job in one of the MNCs. And this is the beauty part. After a year of working in the MNC, that MNC offered her an opportunity for a secondment in San Francisco. So a girl who was having, difficulty in moving forward with her career because of her academics, in a span of 2 to 3 years, had an opportunity to move to San Francisco because of these kind of qualifications. And that's the whole idea of this, right? That you move ahead in your career. A lot of people ask me about the difference in why is it? Is it easier? Is ACCA easier? And I'll just quickly tell you all the differences. First of all, please don't compare ACCA and CA. People ask me, should I do ACCA or CA? I always tell them that first, say yes or no for CA. Only if that answer is no, then ACCA is your best option. Don't try and choose, because if you're in India, then you might as well, take CA if you're open. But people are always not keen because they've seen that the passing rate is a little difficult to get over, the duration is long, etc. So they always look for alternatives, and that's when ACCA kicks in. The primary difference, guys, if you see the final CA level paper of accounts only, let's take accounts, and you take the final level of accounting paper of ACCA, which was that strategic business reporting. If you compare the 2 papers now, they are actually similar in difficulty, and this is attested by a lot of people who've given both the qualifications. Okay, the individual papers are similar, and that is why the knowledge of ACCA CA has become similar. However, ACCA, we don't have the group system, and that changes the game in terms of flexibility, right? You don't have to give 4 papers at once or 8 papers at once. And most importantly, in ACCA, if you do land up giving 4 papers, first of all, you don't have to give 4 papers. You can give 1 or 2 papers also. But if you give 4 papers like CA, you don't clear one by even 1 mark. You might have to give all 4 in CA depending on the exemptions and all. But in ACCA, if you don't give, the other 3 are done. You give the next 3 papers if you want with the one you didn't clear. And that also you do it every 3 months. I mean, the exam attempts every quarter. So you're always moving forward quickly. And the work experience, the articleship of CA, if you've already done it, it all counts towards ACCA. If you have not done it, ACCA also requires you to demonstrate 3 years of experience, but not before the final level of ACCA, meaning that there's no compulsion as to when to begin articleship. You can do it before, during, or after your CA. And that makes a massive difference, because immediately you know that you can take up work experience when you have time. But if you want to run with your academics, run with your studies, there is nothing which is stopping you. So people have this ability to navigate through ACCA based on their preference. And in turn, the net effect is that you are hopefully doing what's the easiest for you to clear the exams, because that's your goal. Clear the exams properly without any,
So I think it is CA minus pressure and minus rigidity.
Yeah, we say minus group system, because it's
correct.
So guys, that's a lot of the flexibility aspect. Of course, the final main difference when it comes to signing authority is, if you want signing authority in India, CA is your course. It's the #1 course eventually. But I don't know, many people are looking at sort of doing CA because they want to sign. I know many people, if your dad has a CA firm, or your dream is to become a partner in a company as an audit partner. I think they are the only two reasons why people take up signing authority. Otherwise, most of us want to do CA or do ACCA to have a professional career, or opportunities which come up, we want to exploit them, right? Whether then in a startup, whether as a CFO, or you have the opportunity to move overseas and you want to set up your career elsewhere. So all other options you can get with ACCA as well. So don't worry about the difference, right? And in fact, ACCA has signing authority in countries like UK, like Dubai, etc. So I mean, you can, yeah. So I would say if there are 100 jobs in ACCA, sorry, in CA, sorry, first of all, there are 100 jobs available in finance or accounts. The CA in India will get all 100 jobs, right? Because they're applicable. ACCAs now will be applicable to 70 of them. So if you go to the 70, you and the CA will have a chance, as in a very simple manner, of interviewing whoever the company likes more. But as an ACCA, don't go to those 30 jobs, because they specifically want CAs. They want people who understand Indian tax. They want people who have signing authority, etc. And if you go overseas, then again, your opportunities just explode. So guys, that is more about ACCA. There is a fee structure. I don't actually want to, I mean, I can show it to you all, but I'll give you
I've attended previous sessions with Zell, so I will just, if you don't mind, I'll just give them a briefing. Correct.
Please.
That broadly what Pratham sir just said in a summarized form, ACCA, sir, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a qualified ACCA. So there are 13 papers, all right, based upon your different levels of whether you're a graduate, whether you are inter CA or you're into final CA, you can get various exemptions. It is a very good alternative to CA and a very good add-on to qualified chartered accountants also, because if you're a qualified CA, you get a lot of exemptions. Now there is a certain fee structure of of ACCA body. All right, and I am in love with Zell Education for one point, that they do not market themselves at all. Correct. But there is one point which I need to elaborate here very specifically is, if you go to the ACCA website, you will see that ACCA UK body always recommends you to learn with the approved learning partners. All right. And they have 3 license of approved learning partners. The bottom level is silver level, the middle level is gold level, and the top level is platinum level. And Zell Education is a platinum licensed. Now, let me tell you, platinum license you don't get by paying any money to them. You get platinum license by giving a good pass ratio. So because Zell Education has been giving them a very good pass ratio and a very good infrastructure, and they have committed that they will provide the best quality education to Indian students in ACCA body, they have a platinum license. All right. And because of their platinum license, if you register with Zell Education, you get a discounted fees, not only in the registration, but across various levels. All right. So maybe if you just try to do ACCA on your own, you may end up paying 130. And if you go through Zell Education, you may end up paying somewhere 80, 90 or so, because they are platinum approved holders. And I have seen the list of their faculties and stuff. But this particular webinar, we are trying to ensure that all of these courses we give you in about 60-70 minutes. All of their faculties are not just academicians, they are also into practical life, and they are in very good position in various companies. All right. Zell Education will help you with route to fruit, right from enrollment to admissions to exams. They have a very good mentoring system. It is not like CA coaching classes. Although I'm from CA coaching fraternity, I still don't like our coaching fraternity, because we do not have a very good value and support system to the students, whereas they have a very good value and support system to the students. Route to fruit guidance is given, and in fact, if you want placement guidance or getting into overseas countries, even that guidance is given from Zell Education. I think, Pratham sir, this is what Zell Education is all about, and I was so amazed that even 1% of your speech was not about marketing, it was about complete guidance. I'm very happy to note that there are very few people left in the industry who do this.
Yeah, sir. Thank you so much, yeah, for that detailed platinum status. I'll just cover. So guys, sir is right. Platinum status is something that the ACCA body bestows upon us as a status based on passing rate, which is the main thing. They have a look at how many students are studying with us. So we are the largest ACCA provider in the country. So well, that's another reason. Every quarter, when the ACCA exams are held, ACCA produces ranks. So if you give, let's say, the accounting paper of ACCA, when the results come, you'll have some marks. Let's say you get a very good score, you get 90 on 100. In India, you might be rank 1 because you got 90. So you will be told that you're a ranker, and then you have a corresponding rank, which is a global rank. So you might be rank 1 in India and maybe rank 3 global. So every quarter there are rank holders, and every quarter for the last 4 years at Zell we've had some of the other rank holder. So I think all of this has contributed to us being given the platinum status. And what happens is when the body gives us a lot of benefits, monetary, paise wala. And when they give that to us, we just, like sir said, hand it over to students. So as you can see, if you register directly with the body, it will cost you approximately ₹1,00,000 more. We get majority of that waived off. We get registration waived off. If you have exemptions, we get that waived off.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's wonderful. It's around 30% / reduction. If I calculate everything,
yes,
if
sir.
I'm not wrong, it's very good.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So guys, so for all of you all out there, if you want to look at ACCA start to end, if you have to give all the exams, I would say that you take the total investment approximately between 4 to 4.5 lakhs. And that includes everything. It includes training, body fees. It includes from studying all the papers, test, mocks, doubt solving, placement assistance, any and everything you talk about. And if you're a chartered accountant, right? Or let me break it down. If you're a graduate, you can slash that by 1/3. So then the whole thing can be done in 2.5 to 3 lakhs. If you're a chartered accountant, then that can be done in even lesser. It can be done in 1.5 to 2 lakhs. So basically, because you get exemptions, your duration and your costs start reducing by 1/3, depending on which level you are at. So overall, the fee structure of ACCA is not that much more significant than other qualifications. And if you compare it to overseas MBA and all, it is negligible because.
So the fees will range from 1.5 to 4.5 based upon various
Yes.
exemptions that they have.
Yes,
that is
sir.
how it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Please continue.
Lastly, guys, I'll just give you all a quick roadmap. So if you can see, my cursor's available.
Yeah.
So these are the 13 papers in ACCA. Okay, we accounting in business, management accounting, financial accounting, law, etc., all 13 papers. If you've just given your grade 10 or 12, you start from the first level. It can take you approximately, each level can take you approximately a year. If you're an inter CA, you sort of come 1.5 sort of halfway down the line of ACCA, you can start. And if you're a chartered accountant, you only give the final level. Quite manageable. I would say keep a time frame of 6 months to around 2.5 years for all of you. That should be your entire goal. This is how you can look at ACCA, add something to your CV, substitute something, open your doors in India and overseas, and maybe even add an element of something you didn't know you had. And plus, if you're going to do, by the way, if you're doing IPCC and you're going to enter articleship, people are doing ACCA along with their articleship, because before your final CA training starts, you can quite manageably complete the balance papers after exemptions in IPCC. Okay, so guys, I need to move on with the next paper. ACCA.
Can I just request one thing? Can Ubaid put up a common number for Zell Education in the chat box as an everyone? Can you message it to everyone? Yeah. Just select everyone in the meeting and put up a number. Guys, you can get in touch with this number if you want to get one-on-one guidance. All right. And goes without saying, you give my reference, you get a little premium guidance. All right.
Of course. Okay. So guys, at the end, if there are more questions on ACCA, please let me know. This is the longest one, of course, because it is a little more complicated than others. Coming to CFA. Now, this is a much more popular program that people would know about. CFA has probably after CA, is the second most popular course in India that I understand in finance and accounts. And that being said, that's all that people know. Many people just know the full form, or sometimes even just the letter CFA, but they don't know much about it. So quickly, CFA, guys, is a specialization in the field of finance. See, CA and ACCA are specializing in finance and accounts. People don't first of all understand this, right? They interchange finance and accounts. Finance, guys, is all about money. It's all about how I acquire money, how I manage money, how I deploy money. Okay, how I invest in the market, how I invest in my company, how I look at my own finances, budgets and XYZ. That's money. That's finance. Accounting is keeping track of everything, is making sure you analyze how you manage your money and make better decisions with your money going forward, right? So that's the difference. So CA and ACCA covers both, but CFA is a specialization in the field of finance. So if you like the finance aspect more, then CFA might just be better off for you. Now, you see, I missed one thing, guys. ACCA, while it's headquartered in UK, it has offices in India, but it's a global CA. CFA is headquartered in US, has offices in India, but CFA is also a global course. Okay. Now, as you can see, right, it's probably the best course in finance across the world. This also has 3 levels, as I'll come to. And if you are starting off, you should aim at completing CFA between 2 to 3 years. Okay. Okay. Now, a quick thing before we jump into the details. So CFA has 3 levels. And guys, quickly, what are the 3 levels going to comprise of? So the 3 levels in CFA, have the same 10 subjects each level. It's just that the difficulty and all of that varies, right? Now, CFA mein, just one second, guys. Yeah. So guys, in CFA, first of all, the 10 subjects, what all they cover, right? They give you the base of things in the field of finance. So they give you quantitative analysis, which is a little bit of technical math and statistics. They give you a little bit of understanding into things like financial reporting, economics. This is a base that you need to set up, but then it starts jumping into things like derivatives and equity and portfolio management. So if you are not sure of what CFA is, the way I explain to people is, if you become a CFA, right, what do, right? People understand investment banking and portfolio management as their primary goal. So if you're a CFA, let's say I'm a CFA, and all of you have 1 lakh rupees savings. So what I will do is I will ensure that I will ask you all, first of all, give me your 1 lakh, because you are otherwise going to put it in an FD or in gold or something and get some return, 5%, 6%. What I will do is I will take that 1 lakh, use my CFA knowledge, put it in different places, put it in real estate, put it in equity, put it in mutual funds, put it in crypto, put it in startups, put it wherever I understand it. And I will try to give you a higher return. And I will take a small fee in that case, right? So if I do that for 10 of y'all, I also earn a little, all of y'all are also getting a better return. And me, what I did, that is called portfolio management. I become that's what a CFA is primarily supposed to do, or eventually does, right? One of the major parts. Of course, CFAs also get into things like investment banking. They get into overall, they get into markets. They get into private wealth. They get into wealth management. They get into overall underwriting, etc., etc. Everything to do with finance. CFAs also can become CFOs. So my point is that again, your professional and entrepreneurial careers open up if you do CFA. Now, if you're in college, from your second year onwards, you can give CFA level 1. And if you're a chartered accountant or anywhere above, any which ways, there is no issue. You can start CFA anytime as long as you are in your have graduated from your first year of college. So if you're in the second year of college, in CFA, there are no exemptions. You have to give each of the levels. And if CFA is what I call your primary qualification, your first qualification, then as soon as you're done with level 1, start working, because you do get opportunities with CFA level 1 and then study level 2 and level 3 parallel to your studies. So like ACCA, like CA, even in CFA, I hope that you guys earn as you learn rather than finish your studies first and then look for jobs.
We have 3 levels, but there is no compulsory articleship or internship in
so,
CFA,
sir,
right?
I'll tell you how everybody should look at this. First of all, any professional qualification, please remember, they will all want you to not only clear exams, but demonstrate experience. Nobody wants to claim that their audience or their members are only theoretical academicians, right?
Correct.
So CFA also has 3 years, but there is no course like CA. CA now has put articleship in the middle. All other qualifications, what they say is, karo, but you have the flexibility of studying when. So in CFA also you study for, work for 3 years in the field of finance. But again, you can do during, before, or after. So Zell recommends, like in ACCA, we recommend people in your second level, start working. Same in CFA. Okay, after your first level, start working. There is no compulsion, but why not? Like the studies, this job is the course is not a full-time course, right? It's a professional qualification. You are supposed to be able to manage and juggle everything in life. So that's what is important about CFA, guys. And yeah, it's all ACCA, CFA, all the courses I'm talking about are all what we call computer-based exams. So that means you can give these exams more or less any time in the year. And not any time in the year, all are online. And CFA also level 1 has quarterly exams. The exams are held every February, May, August, and November. Level 2 are 3 times a year. Level 3 is 2 times a year. So forget all of that. One very important factor, guys, for both ACCA and CFA is the passing rate. Now, I know CA passing rate is tough. ACCA and CFA, both ka passing rate, global average, is between 40 to 50%. which means out
Oh,
of 10
great. Is it for
students,
CFA also? I was not aware
yes,
about it.
sir. In fact, CFA is slightly higher than ACCA.
Great,
So,
great.
the reason is that if you are ACCA, so if you are basically, 10 people are giving the exam, okay, then, 4 or 5 out of the 10 land up clearing each exam attempt. Okay. And of course, because Zelpay, we have faculties, we have study structures, we have mock exams, we have doubt solving, we have a lot of the ecosystem is built, right, with the content curriculum and rank holders and all. So Zelpay, the passing rate is almost double. We have on an average 7 to 8 people who land up clearing every time there is an exam held. The point being again is just for you all to know that speed is on your side, not effort. Effort you have to put in the same CA ho ya ACCA ho ya CFA ho, but there is the ability to do more because you can do it in a shorter span of time. Okay, so that's a little bit about CFA, guys. Again, if there's anything I would like to understand, please let me know. Fee structure of CFA is similar to that of ACCA, wherein what I mean to say is the entire 3 levels of CFA will be approximately 3 to 3.5 lakhs total. And this again includes what we pay the CFA body. It includes the training fees. It includes study material, test, mock exams, etc., etc., etc. Whatever is required for everybody.
So there are 3 levels. Again, you can, there are multiple times that the exams happen for CFA,
Yes,
and you can decide the pace at which you want to complete. You recommend doing level 1 first and then earn as you learn concept. All right. For level 2 and level 3. That is how things are.
yes,
Correct. And then the cost of doing CFA will go till around 3.5 to 4 lakhs maybe. All right, which will include all types of cost that are required for CFA. And we do not have any kind of exemption system like what is there for ACCA for CFA, right?
correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And remember, guys, if you once you land your first proper job with CFA or ACCA, or even CMA, it's similar to CA, right? You should look at your first proper job, which means after your articleship kind of period, which is going to be between 6 to 10 lakhs. And that is now happening in India, in companies like the Big Four, Big Six, and the like. Of course, everything is a little dependent on you, but
Correct.
more or less 6 to 10 lakhs is a good range we've seen for all these courses. You recover your entire investment, which is going to be there for the rest of your life in the first 6 months of this job. So don't be too concerned about the ROI, because trust me that I mean, after being in this industry for a long time, very few options of higher education give you such a almost immediate ROI. Especially if you look at going overseas for MBA, you spend 1 or 2 years, it's 50 lakhs to a CR, people stay there to pay off, they take loans, etc., etc., which is all good if that's the direction you want to go in. But if you have a frugal mindset, then this is another way for you to look at your education from an investment perspective. Lastly, guys, sorry, not lastly, actually, coming to CMA. Now, CMA, first of all, to remove any confusion, there is CMA India also. We are talking about CMA US. CMA US, the reason I'm talking about it is because we've seen an explosion of this in India since COVID for some reason. And when I say explosion, I don't really bother too much about students wanting it, because in this case, what I want to see is, are companies hiring? And that's when that has increased, is when I'm trying to push for saying, okay, there's been a rise in CMA.
Especially when the organizations were restructuring, this hiring was going on like it went off the roof.
Yep, absolutely. And CMA, okay, so let me now jump into CMA. So what is CMA? So I explain this to people because even if you've studied management accounting, many people are not really clear about what it is, right? So think about it like this. I say this in on all the videos we have on YouTube and any other webinars I do, right? Take your favorite company you want to work in. Okay. And I always give the example of Google. Let's say you want to work in Google. You enter the ground floor of the finance department of Google, like you're just a beginner, a fresher, and your goal is to become let's say, the top person in finance, let's say the CFO or the like. How do you climb the ladder, right? How does a CMA climb the ladder? So now what happens is, if I'm at the ground floor, just understand this. If I can help Google make more money, basically, I will be valuable. So how do I do that? So at the ground level, I collate finance and accounting information of Google. I look at Google search and I'll say, okay, what is the average number of searches every day and how much money is it making from Google ads in, let's say, the region of India? Then I look at YouTube, which is part of Google, and I say, okay, what's the revenue, pricing strategy, subscription rate? Then I look at Google Drive, and then I look at Gmail, and then look at Google Maps, so on and so forth. And I collect that information. I use my CMA knowledge to make some sense out of it. And I try to present it to my seniors in a way that if they make decisions because of my understanding, Google will either make more revenue or more profit, which means reduce cost. And if Google can do that because of me, my value increases and I climb up to the next level. And if I keep doing that, I have the ability to, as a CMA, reach the top. And that's what CMA is about. It helps you make accounting and finance decisions for the management, so that you take information internally and help management make decisions which will help the company advance. So I really love the content of CMA.
Because you always stay a priority employee for the top management, right?
Yeah, and it's very, there are very few rules in CMA compared to CA and ACCA, because CA, ACCA also, if you get into the finance, in the reporting aspect or in the compliance aspect or in the tax aspect, these are all rule based, all statutory rules.
Yeah, more so compliance based. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, correct. And all of this, right? But in CMA, a lot of it is internal to business, internal to an organization. Google can price whatever they want. Google can create whatever margins they want. Google can make losses when they need to, if it's a strategy. And all that is what CMA teaches you.
I think whenever the economy is blooming, then to find the right market fit and the sales price. And when the economy is restructuring, then how to reduce the cost. You need CMA on both ends.
Yes, correct. And also don't underestimate it. CA, ACCA, these all cover CMA topics. It's just that CMA is a specialization, again, like CRA.
Correct.
Okay, so if you do a CA or an ACCA, you're going to cover these subjects as well, but CMA has it. Now, why should you do CMA? The major advantage, if this is covered in it, guys, the major advantage is time. Okay, CMA, you can finish in less than a year. So if you're stuck, or if you are in a hurry, or if you've not started, and if you're not sure what to do, right? Best answer is do the thing which is the shortest with the highest ROI before you figure out the longer term plan, right? So if you're not sure what to do, take this up in 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, you can get done. There are 2 parts in CMA, part 1, part 2. Part 1 covers accounts, part 2 covers finance. Quickly finish it. The exams are held multiple times in a year. All are computer based. By next June, you can be a CMA US from at least the academic standpoint, and then take a call. Do you want to grow your career in CMA because you loved it, you have opportunities, or now do you want to upskill yourself with, let's say, a CFA, ACCA, CPA, CMA, CA, whatever it is, right? And CMA is, again, US based, has offices in India, globally recognized. So once again, all the courses I'm talking about so far, keep your doors open for wherever you want to go. So now it starts becoming a choice that you have. What is it that you want to do? Do you want to look at the syllabus and take a call on the course you want to choose? Do you want to look at the time factor, which is absolutely justified in a lot of ways, that people do look at time and say, yeah, I want to do something faster and I'll find my career path on the way. That's also fine. Do you want to look at it from, no, I understood what CMA is versus CFA or ACCA or CA. There are people who have through and through friends, families, or anybody who says, in my company, they're hiring CFAs or ACCA or CMAs. So if you want to come and join this company, you should take this course up. And many people make a decision like that. As long as your decision is something you can live with, because it is taking you a step forward rather than just deciding out of your own room and, I like the letters of C, M, and A, or I like CA because others are doing it. Except for those kind of reasons, any other choice you make that will hopefully take you to the next step in your career, it's worth.
What I heard from you, I think everyone should add at least CMA, because within a year you do it. All right. There are 2 exams, right? Part 1, part 2. So 2 exams. Is it like 2 exams?
Yes, sir.
And what is the fees? I'm getting a repeated question on the chat box. What is the fees of that?
Sorry, so I just wanted to talk about it, and I'll just show the quick pointers, right? So this is part 1, guys. This, you can see, it covers the basics and the details of accounts. It's all there, right? Cost management, performance management, etc., etc. And part 2, as you can see, is on finance, right? Corporate finance, decision making, investments, etc., etc. The fees for CMA, again, if I just so this is a little complex, but simply, guys, CMA will be anywhere between 1.5 lakhs to 1.75 lakhs total over the year, not all at once, but in parts. this includes again everything. What do you pay the body? What do you pay for training? The study material, etc., etc. They have details of if you're studying full time, you are considered as a student, and the fees are slightly different than if you are a professional, etc. I'm not getting into the details. Please
Yeah,
let me
just a
know.
broad range is also fine, you know.
Correct, sir. So
1.5 lakh
1.5
to
to
like,
1.7,
yeah.
1.75 is good enough to take
This
into
includes
account
registration, coaching, training, everything, right?
everything, sir. I'm talking about holistic,
Okay.
what you should account for, budget for. That's about it. Right. So, guys, with that, it makes it very easy, and especially when you compare it to what other options you have, right? It's all of them are longer and more expensive with respect to the value that CMA gives you in the market. There are cheaper courses, of course, and shorter ones, but we're talking about ones which start off your kickstart your career or is a good enough add-on to your CV. So in that sense, CMA has probably one of the highest ROIs that I can think of. Lastly, quickly, guys, FRM, financial risk management. Again, if you all know about this, this is the specialization of a specialization. So chartered accounting and ACCA is finance plus accounts. CFA is finance. FRM is financial risk, right? That being said, it is growing because risk management is becoming more and more crucial, especially with the advent of tech over the last 20 years with digital currencies, that we all know what the market is going to. There are millions of scams happening. We've heard forensic come up over the last few years. We know that if you want to so 20 years back, guys, the world was rewarding people who were generalists, people who could do many things. Today, the world rewards specialists, people who can do one thing better than everybody else. Because if I have to hire people at Zell, I'm going to find people who are superb in what I want them to do, rather than, you know, jack of all and master of none type. So if you enjoy financial risk, you'll have to do basic research. I'm going to tell you what also, but basic research on what the details comprise of. But more or less, guys, yeah, this is also very similar to the other courses. You can finish FRM again in approximately a year. FRM also has 2 levels or 2 parts. You complete part 1, part 2, all digital, all computer based across the year. You can do the training along with your work, along with your, or just on weekends, just on weekdays, comfortably manage it and give the exams. Again, within a year, you should be able to get done with it. So there are some people I know love these subjects, right? You really get excited with investments and markets and valuation, and all of this includes beta. Beta means risk, is the financial risk aspect. So I know a lot of people even intuitively love this. So if you can back this again, people I know who are CFAs plus FRMs plus MBAs, right? These kind of guys have, again, opportunities across the world. They work in the top finance companies, banking companies, because listen to the combo, right? CFA, specialization in finance, FRM, specialization in risk, and MBA, specialization in business. So you have a good plethora to choose from, right? The FRM fees are quite simple. Again, FRM also gets done in less than 2 lakhs or approximately 2 lakhs, which includes everything spread over a year. I think, yeah, instead of going into details, I'll leave it at that.
So FRM basically helps you as an add-on degree, or it helps you as a standalone one?
So I always say that FRM should be an add-on. But if it's your first qualification, then take it up, start finding a job very quickly, start working, and then take up CFA or MBA or anything along with it. But it's based on where you are in your life, right? In your career. If you are very early, and for whatever reason, this is the path you want to get, because see, CFA people want to, but then you're not eligible till your second year. So then you can do FRM and then do CFA in your second year. If you're already a CFA, already a chartered, and you want to get into specialization, then do FRM after that, no problem. The point is, all these options are given to you because you can take it anytime. It's on you to take advantage of the structure. And again, that's where we'll come in. So if you can tell us your particular journey or your particular case, I can guide you a little bit based on what we understand the market cares about, the companies in the world care about, or and then of course give you a one-to-one.
Can we also add on 2 more things? One is the IFRS diploma course, which is offered by, again, ACCA UK body, because I think that should be a compulsory add-on for the qualified chartered accountants. All right.
Yeah.
Although we already had a different seminar, I have a video of that, with one of the I think it was Rashesh into that particular seminar. So IFRS, just because there are people today, so just to tell you, just because I written them that we will talk about it a little bit. So IFRS, again, it is into International Financial Reporting Standards, which is the global version of IND AS, which you study at final C level, and all the multinational companies are working upon the framework of IFRS in their accounts finalization. All right, so this IFRS diploma course, which is offered by ACCA UK body, what is the time period within which it can be completed?
IFRS you can finish in 6 months.
IFRS you can finish in 6 months. And is it compulsory for you to be a chartered accountant or a qualified professional to do it?
No, there's no, it's better if you are, because it fulfills all the criteria automatically. But otherwise, you should just be you should have a couple of years of experience and a graduation degree.
Okay. And again, Zell Education provides that, so one-on-one consultation can always be done.
Oh, yeah. Again, I mean, fortunately, even in IFRS, we are the leaders in India. So anything from waivers.
Yeah, many of my students also enrolled for that. They found it very attractive at Zell, IFRS diploma course. It's really going good.
Yeah.
And one more thing, there are some questions on CPA US, if you can throw some light on that. Right?
Sure. CPA US, guys, is the CA of US in short. There are 4 exams that you can cover. Again, it takes around a year. There are two issues I've generally seen students face with that, but it's not something to hinder you.
But I've seen somewhere students are getting stuck in CPA US. They're not getting through and through with that. So what is it that's stopping them, or is my analysis wrong?
No, sir. So it's not wrong, but the first actual barrier is not people who get stuck in it. People get stuck in terms of registering because they have very meticulous criteria to register. First of all, for example, you need 12 plus 4 years of education, unlike most in India are up to 12 plus 3. So people
if we are MCOM, masters, then I think we can apply for that.
That's one. Then over there, no, there are slight specifications. Like for example, USA has 50 states, and unlike India, if you're a chartered accountant in India, you're a CA, whether it's Maharashtra, Gujarat, or Rajasthan. But over there, it's different per state, right? There are 4 exams. They're a little technical. Of course, they're difficult at the end of the day. They are not simple. But once you start it, if you are a strong enough candidate, you will get through. If you don't have guidance, you can get stuck. And one other thing is it's a little expensive. It's around 5 lakhs, but 5 lakhs is almost all in 1 year compared to
so there are 4 exams, right? There are 4 exams.
4 exams. Correct.
And if you're a chartered accountant, do you get any exemption for CPA US?
Only ACCA is that kind. Like even Indian CA, US CA, CFA, nobody gives exemptions. That is a unique trait only of ACCA. And that's because it's trying to be a truly global CA. It doesn't.
Do you really suggest, the students who are pursuing chartered accountancy, qualified chartered accountants, all right, to actually run behind CPA US, incurring so much of money and without getting any exemption also? All right, just as a secondary qualification, do you suggest that?
So, sir, I'll suggest it in only one way, and this I've seen as working the most. If your company, so there are companies which are encouraging their candidates to pick up CPA, and they encourage in terms of giving you some form of a rise in your career. They sometimes sponsor this thing. So when you know more or less, if you go through, you're going to be benefited, please go all out. But if you're doing it just for yourself or just to move to the US, then it's a little, I mean, please do it. Like, I'll never stop anybody to study more, but then don't put all your hopes in it.
And CPA US does not guarantee a visa of US. That is the most common question that I'm getting.
No, nothing guaranteed. I mean, I wish it did. Yeah, because then yeah, it'll become everyone's holy grail. Yeah, if that's going to get you in US or in a different country, short. I wish it was like that, but no, unfortunately, that's not the case. So CPA, guys, 4 exams, 1 year you can finish. You need to have a certain eligibility criteria, which is a minimum of 12 plus 4. If you're a chartered accountant, you will be eligible. So please take it up if you believe it's going to, advance your career. Just be a little more sure. But yeah, it's a brilliant qualification. There is no doubt about it. And diploma in IFRS is again a superb add-on. In 6 months, you have it in your pocket. By the way, 6 months. When I say 6 months, I mean 6 months from the time you take it up to the time it's with you. Like in 3 months, you finish studying, give the exam, results come. All that entire cycle is 6 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's super inexpensive. I think 30,000-40,000 you're done.
Yeah.
And it's again globally recognized. So guys, whatever we're telling you now, we are only telling you because we've seen companies value it in India, and we've seen students make careers abroad, and that's the point of this webinar.
Yeah.
So yeah, quickly, and the last thing, anything about us. So everything we do is online. We are one of the largest trainers when it comes to ACCA, CFA. We do around 500 students a month for these kind of qualifications, CMA as well, FRM. IFRS, we are again working with large MNCs. We have all our lectures which are live on weekdays. If you want to do post working hours or post college, we have weekends. If you miss anything or you want to revise everything, everything is recorded. All our faculties are qualified themselves for the subjects they teach you. And most importantly, whether you're a chartered accountant, whether you are a working professional, whether you are in college, all these courses we sort of counsel on how one-to-one you should take it. What is the speed at which you should give the exams, etc., etc. We tell you to do it on our schedule, but then we recommend it. If we think you're not ready, we will, of course, we can't stop you, but we will really push you to either speeden up and get ready or then push the exam by a quarter, because we don't want people to just do it for the sake of it. The goal is in a reasonable amount of time, clear it and build your career.
I really like your mentor system whereby every student has a go-to person where they can have a word with, that what they're supposed to do and how they can move ahead with that.
And we know how it feels. Yeah. If you don't have anybody, you might, it's a little overwhelming to make choices at this stage, especially if you're alone. So you need experts, you need people who understand how to guide. So I think we are trying to provide all of that. And of course, even at the end, we help with placements. This is actually only the kind of countries we have people from, companies we have people from, and yes.
So there are lots of MNCs and companies which contact Zell Education to get good candidates. All right. So they can help you with the placements. And also, if you want to get overseas, they can help you with that particular thing also. I've already sent the inquiry number. And when this video gets on public platform, you will see the inquiry number in the description of this particular video also. Right, so I think, so guys, how was this particular webinar? Did you like it? I think we tried covering almost everything. Can we throw it up for some question answers? Just to answer the very basic questions, if every single student is thinking about what kind of exemptions they are going to get, for that you will have to get on one-on-one word with Zell Education. All right. Because you may be at a different stage in your career. For ACCA, there are exemptions. For other courses, we do not have exemptions. All right. But we can take a little more general query, like, what kind of, career-oriented queries. Like, so I have one for a qualified CA. What is better, to add ACCA or CPA? What would you suggest? Or to add a CFA?
So if you have an opportunity to work in a US-based company or go to the US, then CPA. If you want to generally take up something which is equivalent to CA, but add it in a shorter span of time quickly and then have global exposure, or in India, then ACCA, because you can do it in 6 months and then not only move up in India, but also move overseas. And if you are specializing in finance, like I said, you want to get into markets, in financial markets or derivatives or equity or investment banking or portfolio management, then CFA. So it depends on you, right? There is no, it's
better to get in touch with Zell Education. Let them tell you what are the strong areas, whether it is accounting, finance or what. Right? And then they can suggest you, and then you can suggest on which area and where they can go to. All right. So you basically, there is a wrong mentality that we have. I mean, the candidates, the aspirants normally have is package kisme zyada milega. But wherever you have your interest, you are going to get the package. All right.
Yeah.
Like when I cleared chartered accountancy, when I got into coaching, no one told me that, okay, this is going to pay you the most. All right. Today I'm running a successful organization of my own. Similar is the case with you, right? So when we figure out what are we interested in, you are going to get the package over there.
Yeah,
then there we have one or two queries, like, they are saying that they are age 21 and they are stuck in inter-CA. Should they kick off with CMA or ACCA? So they're stuck. Let us say for the students who are stuck into inter-CA, what they can do, because there is a large candidate of students, large pool of students.
So the question is, they are asking if they're stuck where?
Inter-CA level. They are not able to clear inter-CA.
So, okay, got it. So guys, I would say that, see, in inter-CA, you get up to almost half the ACCA qualification exempted. And if you clear it, you get what you are searching for, which is the CA, level of qualification or chartered accounting. So if you are an IBCCA and you're stuck, I would say if you've not given too many attempts, then please do ACCA, because you can still get what you wanted.
Correct.
But if you're super exhausted and you are now just, you feel you're late, then do CMA, because then you're more sure that in a very short span of time, you'll be able to at least move up in your career. Also, another way to look at it is, in IPCC, up to IPCC, if you do like management accounting, if you do like costing, then it's an indicator you can do CMA. But if you're still open, then just go for ACCA.
So let us say I have some candidates, a pool of people also who are age 23, 24, 25 into that particular age group. They are stuck somewhere into CA, CS, CMA, Indian courses. All right. So can we, suggest them to go with CMA US, add something, gain more confidence, and then when they start earning, maybe they can then start pursuing ACCA also?
Yes, sir. That's a general.
This is for the age group of 23 to 26, who are not very confident in their lives. All right. So during that age group.
Yeah. So that's one thing, sir. So first of all, that principle is very important, that if you are anytime feeling stuck, take the thing which gets you moving, in the easiest form. And once you start moving, you do the tougher things as well parallelly.
Correct.
So that's any which is a principle.
Once you gain confidence, that those people may end up clearing chartered accountancy also.
Absolutely. So you can do that also, but just to finalize, if you're a 23, 21, 22-year-old, basically, I'm assuming you're a graduate, you've done BCom. If you do BCom, you get the first level exempted in ACCA. Finishing level 2 and level 3, you can do it in a year and a half, and CMA you can do in 9 to 12 months.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a very Marwadi Baniya type of question straight away now. All right. And so what is the highest package that you're aware of that only an ACCA is earning? May not be a chartered accountant, may not be company secretary, only ACCA is earning.
So the highest one I know is, like I said, he's a CFO of a 11,000 crore securities company at Nariman Point. Okay. He's just an ACCA. He's worked earlier in Deloitte and then in some real estate company, and now he's a CFO. I know that with ESOPs and all, his salary goes into crores. Okay. So that's what an ACCA is capable of.
Okay, so because this puts things in perspective. So many a times, especially in CA coaching industry, people are downgrading ACCA, saying that ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या बन जाएगा, manager level तक जाएगा और क्या करेगा. All right, so I don't like such kind, because I have seen ACCA growing. So I want to give real guidance to my students. I may end up losing students from CA coaching, but that's okay as far as they are getting their careers, all right, careers straight. This is more for them to understand what they can do. Yes, sir. I think we have answered all the queries. Then one-on-one consultation, you can always get in touch with Zell Education. I've already put up the number for everyone over here. I think I'm very, very thankful for the whole team of Zell Education, especially Pratham sir, for making for himself being available in this particular session and enlightening everyone. I think this webinar is going to help a lot of people take good decisions in their life. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you everyone over here. Thank you the whole team, Zell Education. Pratham sir, any last words from your side?
Nice, sir. Thank you so much, for hosting this. And I mean, together, if any of us, if we can help these guys, nothing like it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye.